Hey there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. I'm at the beach in Cape May, and I was just sitting on the beach reading Matthew, because this morning, I don't know if you guys are involved in our daily meditations, but this morning's daily meditation was Matthew 6:33, which says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you." And I was thinking about the verse, and I was like, I kind of know what the context is there, but I think there's a little more to it. So I dug through Matthew 6, and there's a lot more to it, because it's basically Jesus speaking. It was the Sermon on the Mount, and it's Jesus speaking about faith and hope, and I think more about trust than anything else. And so let's dive into that just a little bit today. So when we talk about this verse, right, Matthew 6:33, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you." I looked at a couple of the verses before, and he's talking about how, look at the lilies in the field, how beautifully they're dressed. Look at the birds. Do they store up seed for their next day or the day after? And then I'm looking around here. I'm down in Cape May, New Jersey, and I'm looking around here, and there's seagulls flying all over the place. I just saw a pelican, and that verse, got very. And then there's the cool thing about Cape May is that there are dolphins that come out pretty much every morning, and they just hang out, and their dorsal fins just pop out of the water, and they're usually traveling in packs in schools or whatever they call groups of dolphins. But I was thinking about the verses that precede this verse, right? So Matthew 6:33 says, "But," the first word, is "but," right? So when you see that word "but," there's got to be something else going on in the previous passages that speak about, that give a reason for that word "but." And I looked it up, and I was checking through it, and I was like, very, very interesting. And once again, Jesus is teaching us faith and teaching us trust, I think, more than anything else. And then, of course, we'll get to surrender. But he's teaching us trust, because he says, "Do the birds stock up on their seed? How beautifully are the flowers?" How beautifully are the flowers dressed? More beautifully than, I think it says more beautifully, if I remember correctly, it says more beautiful than King Solomon, which, Solomon was a pretty rich dude. So I'm sitting here on the beach, and I'm looking at all these birds flying around, these dolphins flying around, and they literally live day to day. And their food is provided for them every single day. Their needs are provided for them every single day. And I think Jesus's audience back in that day, they really did store and shop for the day. It wasn't like they were storing up food for 3, 4, 5 days, even a week. They were more about, how are we going to get today's food? And this verse is just so incredibly, one of the points that he says is, don't worry about food. Don't worry about just don't worry, because worry is in the hearts and the minds of unbelievers. And that, I just read that, and I was like, that's so poignant and so perfect. Because we as believers, right, we are believers. We believe in Jesus. We believe in the hope that he brings. We believe in the trust that he brings into our lives. And we believe in faith. We have faith in him. And worry and anxiety and stress and being concerned about all of this stuff falls into the hearts of unbelievers. And we are not unbelievers. We are believers. And I just found that so incredibly beautiful today. So today, it kind of makes you just take a minute and think, all right, what does my faith look like? Am I constantly concerned about all of it? Am I stressing over all of it? There's that great verse that says, don't worry about tomorrow because tomorrow has enough problems of its own. Worry about today. Live in the moment, live in the day, live in today only. And I really am trying more and more to be involved in that type of thought process and mentality. Yeah, we certainly have to, plan for the future and all of that. And I'm sure I've said this before, but when we let that worry overcome and take over our lives, then that's where it gets into a little more of a cautionary zone, I guess you could say. So today, maybe we're just thinking about Matthew 6:33. And maybe more importantly, we're just thinking about that word, but, right? Let me get up here and walk around. The sun's getting hot. But we're thinking about that word, but, and how and what it means in our lives and what it means as we roll forward into our day today. Again, I said I throw these out on Saturdays because I like to just give people a minute to just stop and think about what the day is going to bring and how we can take the day and change it a little bit to focus more on Jesus over the course of the day. And Saturday is a good day to start that habit, because then you have Sunday that follows it. And Sunday normally, hey, we're going to go to church on Sunday. So anyway, that's kind of what I was thinking about today. That's kind of what Matthew 6:33 led me to and just focusing on that word, but, which is a funny word to focus on, but it means that there's other stuff to check out here. There's other stuff to look at. So taking verses out of context, not ideal, but maybe stopping for a minute and, okay, Matthew 6:33, great verse, but let's read Matthew 6:30 through 33, or 30, 31, 32 before, so we can chat about what he's actually talking about. So today, take a minute, read through Matthew 6, the whole thing, and then dive into Matthew 6:31, 32, 33, maybe 28, 29, 30, but there's a lot in there. And the main focus of it all is trust and faith. And when you get right down to it, surrender, right? The birds, the flowers, everything that depends on nature to survive is in a state of surrender. And I think our hearts and our minds need to shift a little bit to get into this state of surrender so that we can say to Jesus, hey, I want to be in a state of surrender. So help me to trust and have more faith in what this might look like. Help me worry less about tomorrow and let's just work through today and be involved in today and be involved in exercising our faith and our trust muscles in today and in our hopes and our faith and trust in Jesus. Sound good? All right, guys, I'm going to go enjoy this day. It's absolutely beautiful. And I hope that you guys do the same with whatever is happening on your Saturday. But thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning into the beach with me. And if you want to be part of our community, head over to joindaysband.com today. You can get started. We've got some incredible devotions, incredible video devotions, and weekly worship that happens over there too. Just become part of our community. We need you with us, and together we're literally changing and saving lives through child sponsorship. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for being here today, but just work on trust, work on faith, work on surrender to Jesus today. All right, go read Matthew 6. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. you.